sun.
Hey there, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy Heroes video. I'm Zuko.
And I'm Exum.
And this is The High Ground. Alright guys, so today we're going to be doing our second installment of the series that we created, Do They Make Sense? Now, this is our original intent with this series was to create a series and do each character based on their faction. We want to do faction based. We had done Raid Han as our first one. We intended to keep doing the Scoundrels.
Or the Hans.
Or the Hans, because they are their own faction now. But we got requested to do this character, and that's something that we want to bring up to you guys. If you guys would prefer that we do it based on your requests, let us know. If you would like it for us to do faction based, let us know in the comments down below. Please let us know, guys.
Yeah.
So, alright, so the character that we're going to do today...
Before you go ahead with that.
Yeah.
If you guys do want to go with request based, we're going to do it with the request that has the most likes. So just leave a like on the character down below that anybody comments on if that's the character you want us to do next.
Perfect. Very good point. Alright, so the character we're going to do today is Mace Windu. Okay, so Mace Windu is a Jedi in this game, and his kit, his overall character, I mean, it doesn't really, in our opinions...
His importance to the game is not the same as his importance to the movie.
Not even close. So we're going to start off again with the 5 different things that we got here, our checklist. Just to give you, again, an overview of what we think about this character. Now, again, this is our take on like an in-depth character review, but it is more so about, does this character make sense in the game based on what we see from them either in the movies or the TV shows or the books.
Yeah.
So remember, that is the type of review this is going to be, because again, what is really important to us is that these characters are presented correctly by CG in these games.
Yeah.
Do they correlate to what we see in the movies? Because again, we're all Star Wars fans and that's what we love. We love that connection with those characters. So we want to make sure that they're doing it correctly. So our first one is
character appearance. Yes. So, character size. How does he stand next to his fellow Jedi? His fellow, like, is he on the same? Is he the same height as Yoda, who is one of the smallest characters? No, he's actually perfectly, tall in the game, perfect size in the game.
Yes.
His character outfit. If they're going for Episode 3, which we believe they were, or not Episode 3, but just the movies in general, his character outfit is spot on. If they were going for Clone Wars, Mace Windu, like the Clone Wars, he would have the armor pieces on the arms, so that wouldn't be on. But we believe he was going for the movies. And then the facial appearance, it's pretty good. It has a pretty good liking to Samuel L. Jackson's, in our opinion. Yeah,
it has a pretty good liking to Samuel Jackson and what we saw in the Clone Wars.
Especially in the Clone Wars TV show, yeah.
So if you're gonna say that, then maybe he should have the pads on his arms, but who knows? All right, so next is power crossover. Again, one of the most important. So, is Mace Windu too strong in this game?
God, man, that's a great question. No.
Flat out, heck no, not even close. I mean, he's basically useless. He's a terrible, terrible character in this game.
He's even the worst capital ship out of all the capital
And he's the worst capital ship, and probably even put him as one of the worst tanks in the game, because that's what they classify him as for some reason, which we will get into that later. But no, he is way too weak in this game. He is known as probably the most powerful Jedi in the entire Jedi Order.
He is respected as the strongest duelist.
The strongest duelist, exactly. Maybe him and Yoda, of course, you can always have that debate, you know, him being his apprentice and everything. But just based on dueling capabilities, Mace Windu outshines everyone in the Jedi Order. So there's no reason that he should be one of probably the worst 5 Jedi that are in this game. That's something that, you know, we were talking about earlier. The hierarchy in this game
is completely thrown off.
It's completely thrown off in the Jedi. It makes no sense. But that's definitely something that he is not at all well represented in terms of his power.
Yeah,
I know a lot of the fan base has been complaining about that for a while in the community.
He's even gotten a rework before, and it still did not do much to his character. Did not take him from obscurity, just kept him in obscurity.
Exactly. So,
and at least make him second most powerful Jedi in the game, if he's the second most powerful Jedi in the hierarchy of the Jedi.
Exactly.
So.
And now that gets into Yoda, which will be another one later on, but definitely that he needs to be a lot more powerful. Does he show us more or less in the movies or the TV show than what he shows us in the game? 100%.
Absolutely.
I mean, you see him in the movies. First of all, he disarms Emperor Palpatine. Okay, the strongest Sith in that time period, probably maybe in the entire time period of canon Sith, he disarms him in a matter of minutes.
He beats him.
Okay,
like,
he basically
he
would have killed him had it not been for Anakin.
Yes.
So he beats Asajj. He's seen beating Asajj. In the old 2003 Clone Wars, he beats Grievous. I mean, he crushes Grievous. It's just, it makes no sense that he is this weak. Based on what we see in the movies. I mean, you see him, how great he is. He kills Jango Fett in a matter of, seconds. Just blocks a couple bullets and cuts his head off. So the power of Mace Windu, he even says it, Anakin, it's been known that Anakin, during the fight against Palpatine, he even tells people that he couldn't even see them fighting because of how fast they were both moving. So, you see a lot in the movies and you see a lot in the TV show for this character that is not presented at all based on his character in the game.
Yeah. So the power crossover, definitely thrown out the window.
Yeah.
The next thing we have is synergy. Should he have direct synergy with certain characters? And for that, direct synergy, no. You did mention to me that maybe he had a sort of synergy, kind of like Ahsoka and Anakin have in this game currently.
Something with Yoda.
Small, something with Yoda. Because they're the top two guys, the most respected guys in the Jedi Order.
And you can see when Mace Windu dies, remember, you see Yoda clutch his chest, and you see him get weak because... And I think this isn't just because of all the Jedi. I think it was in that moment they showed us that because he had a special connection with Windu being his apprentice.
I always viewed it more as Anakin's turn, and that's the reason that Yoda kind of felt that way.
Maybe.
But that is a good point, and it probably has to do with all of the above.
Yeah.
So. Should they have strong synergies together, like wigs or something like that? No, we don't believe there's a character in the universe that Mace Windu should have had that direct synergy with. So that's something that they did well in the game. He doesn't have a direct synergy that's OP like wigs or Chase or anything like that.
He could have a small synergy, but nothing overpowered.
And maybe more synergy with the Jedi overall.
In general.
And then should their synergies be stronger based off TV shows and movies? No, like we said. The only thing is we do believe, and it's part of the kit from the next thing, but we believe he should be a leader.
Yes.
A leader amongst the Jedi, and so therefore that's where some synergy would come in.
Yeah.
But that's for the next thing. So the next thing is?
So the next thing is, does the kit make sense? Do his abilities, do the names make sense? Do what they read at least make sense based on what we see again from him in the movies and stuff like that? And this one is a really tricky one. It's a really intense one with him because I think that they did a very good job with two of the names in his kit, both of them being his uniques. But what they read is nowhere near what they should. So let's start off with Invisible Assault, which is his basic Invincible Assault. I would prefer it said Invisible Assault based on the fact of how fast, how fast he moves and how quick he is. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Let's see what it reads. Deal physical damage to target enemy. If Mace is above 50% health, this attack deals 50% more damage. If Mace is below 50% health, he recovers health equal to 70% of the damage dealt. I mean, it's just not enough. It's not enough for a basic attack from him. Being as powerful as he is, he should show us more.
I think everything about his kit should be about power.
And exactly.
Aggression. If you wanted to make him a glass cannon, sure, because you should at least try to get the power output that he's determined to have by the rest of the Jedi Council, by the rest of the galaxy. Exactly. At least try to implement that into the game.
And that points us in the perfect direction of why is he a tank? Yeah. Why is he a tank? There's nothing in the game, in the movies, in the novelization, in anything in the show that would show us why he should be a tank. He should 100% be an attacker because of just who Mace Windu was and how well-respected of a duelist he really was.
His entire fighting stance.
Exactly.
His entire fighting form.
He wasn't like Obi-Wan, who was a master of Sirisu, the master of the defensive form of Jedi. That's why he's a tank. This man was, the master of, he's the master of all of them, but he was very well known for his own style, which he created called Vapad, which is an offensive attacking style. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense why he is a tank in the game. So his next ability, the special, which is Smite. Again, the name doesn't really make a lot of sense.
We think these are generic names.
Yeah, we think they're generic.
That's the main issue with them, and maybe they could have come up with something better.
Yeah, like CG just kind of just like, oh, this, like smite him down or something like that, and they decided to throw it in there like anything else.
Maybe disarm. Maybe because,
disarm.
He disarms Palpatine.
Something like that.
You could do a force ability for him.
Yeah,
One
100%.
thing that we noticed with Invincible Assault and Smite is that these are the same animations that you see in a bunch of other Jedis in this game.
Yeah, you see them in in Ayla Secura.
Specifically, those two are the exact same animations for Ayla and Mace Windu.
It makes, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Most of the Jedi have the same ability, like the same animation for the basic,
Like Qui-Gon does the same thing as well.
You could try and change that up to give them each kind of like their own personalities. Right now, they're just generic Jedis.
Exactly.
And he's very important, so he shouldn't just be a generic Jedi.
I agree 100%. So then these last two, Vapad and Shatterpoint, we like, that they included that.
The names are perfect.
Yes, but Vapad that should not be a leadership ability.
Not at all.
Because think about it, Vapad was something that he created himself, with the help of another Jedi. But what this ability does is he borders the line of dark side and light side in the way that he fights. What he really does is he takes the energy and he takes the dark side energy from a dark side, whoever he's fighting, and he pushes it back on them.
He reflects it to
Exactly. So what he does is he's basically walking a very thin line on that border of that. So he was not allowed to teach this form to Jedi.
Yeah, it wasn't very looked upon highly in the Jedi Order. It was kind of like, okay, he does it, but people were kind of skeptical about it.
Yeah, they weren't okay. They weren't okay with him teaching it.
Yeah.
Anakin approached him about learning the form, and he actually told Anakin no, because of how Anakin was a little bit of a hothead. He didn't want to teach him the form because it does border the line, and he actually lost 2 Jedi. The 2 Jedi that he taught it to, both of them fell to the dark side. Yes. One permanently, one came back. Yeah. But that's exactly why. It doesn't make sense for that to be a leader, because no other Jedi were allowed to practice that.
Exactly. So we don't believe it should be a leader. We think it should be a unique.
A unique, exactly, because it's distinct to him.
Yes. And we think it should definitely offer different things from what it does right now. As a unique, it should kind of have an effect towards, a dark side user attacking him and him doing something back. So maybe retribution, or when the dark side guy attacks him, they get defense down, he gets offense up.
Exactly.
Or anything like that. We just think that Vapad, when his next rework comes out, which we do believe will, needs to be touched upon, and especially not as a leader, but made better and stronger as a unique.
And that's something they introduced with Nihilus in the Sith Raid, where when you attack him with a basic, you get defense down.
Yes.
I think that's an awesome ability, that anytime a dark side or Sith attack Mace Windu, they get defense down. Because when they're attacking him, he's taking that energy and pushing it back on them. So why not kind of like expose them to more damage?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so the next one is Shatterpoint. What this ability is, what this is for Mace Windu, if you guys are not aware, he is able to find the weakness in an enemy by, meditating, and he knows how to exploit that weakness. That's how he knows how to fight against his opponents.
Yes.
So what this reads is it's a pretty good ability in the sense that it exposes a random enemy at the start of an encounter, but it's only a 45% chance to do so.
We think it should be more.
It should be automatic.
Yeah, like Nihilus, when he automatically inflicts offense down in the start of an encounter, we think maybe Mace Windu could have something like that where he can automatically expose a target at the beginning of an encounter.
And another thing with this that I think it should do is it should allow Mace Windu, this is as a unique, should allow Mace Windu to ignore taunt. Kind of like with CLS. CLS ignores taunt as well.
When he has the buff.
When he has the buff, yes. But I think it's good for him to do that because Mace Windu is always going to be the one who's going to attack the most dangerous person on the battlefield. Yes, he will do what he has to do to everybody else, like he did with the droids and stuff like that. But in my opinion, him being as powerful as he is and him being the Jedi Master that he was, he would go after the most dangerous person on the battlefield.
In the same way that in Episode 2, he is the one that leads the Jedi to fight on Geonosis against all the Separatists. But he's the one that approaches Dooku. So he goes straight for the top dog. So I think that's a perfect example of what he's trying to say here.
Exactly. So next.
So that's about everything for the names and stuff like that. We believe his speed should be higher.
Oh my God, 100%. Great point.
Like Anakin says in the novelization for Revenge of the Sith, when he went in there and he saw them fighting, he couldn't even see. It was just like blurs of speed.
Exactly.
And that's because of how Vapad is as a fighting style. So his speed should probably be higher, especially if they were to change him more as an attacker. But I don't think that's going to be changed because I don't think they're going to change his tags. But
I mean, if you're going to rework him, you rework him. Because the thing is with him is that his whole kit, just the kit itself for this character doesn't make sense at all with what we see in the movies. That's basically what we're saying here. So I think they change it completely. His base speed is 123. I mean, it should be a lot faster. This guy, he's known for his speed. He's known for his offensive prowess. So it should be something that they completely, it's a complete overhaul.
Rework, yeah.
So go ahead.
And that's it. The last topic we had was missing trademarks, and we don't really believe there's a missing trademark. We made the joke that maybe he shouldn't have his second hand, but that's just a joke.
I think they basically, with the trademarks, they gave him the capital ship.
Yeah.
So that's a huge one.
I think that was a great one.
Anything else? There's not really, again, we don't really know that much about Windu. In the sense that he's kind of more of a secretive type of guy when you see him in the movies and you see him in the Clone Wars
and he comes out sparingly in the TV show.
He comes out sparingly and stuff like that. So there's not really any trademark that should be there. But based on all these things that we have here, we think that Mace Windu is just grossly underdone in the game.
Yeah.
In a lot of aspects. I mean, the most important being his kit. His kit and his power just do not match at all to what we saw in the movies or the TV show. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things here that don't make sense. He should not be a tank. He should be an attacker.
He should not be one of the weakest, most forgettable Jedis in the game.
Exactly.
He should be more iconic the way he is in the films. The whole thing about him from when Samuel L. Jackson portrayed the character was he wanted to make him stand out. That's why he gave him a purple lightsaber as opposed to everybody
basically
else.
Exactly why he did.
And that's pretty much the only thing they got right in this game, giving him a purple lightsaber, because the rest of him just doesn't make sense. And we're looking forward to his rework because we think he should be, when you sit down to make a Jedi team, he should definitely be one of the top 5 that you're trying to pick between to use.
Yeah, and one thing that Exum made, that he alluded to me before we started recording this was Mace Windu and the whole Jedi faction should have some type of synergy when you see something like, Phoenix or something like that, where they all work off each other. And his leadership ability should be something that really just boosts up the power, the offensive ability of all the Jedi around him, just based on who he is and based on, what we know of him. And it's just a little bit disappointing at how, underrepresented he really is.
So yeah, that's our second character in the Do They Make Sense series,
yes.
Mace Windu. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun making. It was a lot of fun doing the research for it. We were watching clips, It was cool to notice how him and Ayla have the same animation and a bunch of other,
it was crazy.
Jedi do. So thank you guys for watching. Please, like we said, we were planning on doing this faction-based, but we want to listen to you guys. So if you guys have any requests, please leave it down below. The one with the most likes is the one we'll do next. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. This is The High Ground. Hopefully you like our new shirts, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. You underestimate my power. Don't try it. High ground. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. High ground. I loved you. High ground. High ground. It's not the high ground way. I mean the Jedi way. You know what I'm saying. I'm saying I've beaten you, and I'm on the high ground, so. High ground.